Isaac Lenard, and again, I'm so glad to have you right here as we get to center our mind in the political field, and again to know what has been happening, what is really happening, and what do we expect, especially from the politics side, as we are actually in the middle of the month of March, as we are actually ending the month, and we wish to talk about what is really happening, especially in our counties, in our country, and what is really happening, what is affecting you, especially in the political field. Now, na kuna message ambazo mara nyingi unasikia kwamba ujumbe fulani unaweka kwa muktadha wa watu ambao wanafaa kuongeleshwa. Let me say that ni kama ulete story ya fish uipeleke Mount Kenya, mahali ambapo hakuna lake. So those people will be like, they will just be nodding wakisema ni sawa prezo, ni sawa prezo. So I want us to center this. You know, our president is so wise and is so clever, but you really need to know how how tricky he behaves and how tricky he is. Now, I want you to center your mind on what President Ruto talked about when he was in Siaya, in Migori, and as well in Homa Bay, and what happened especially in Kisumu. I want you to center your mind in Kisumu immediately after the end of Ramadan celebration in Kisumu County, and what he told the Kenyans, or rather the Kisumu residents, and afterwards what really happened. And I want you to center your mind and brain on what he really said, and what other members, especially the senator of Siaya, that is Dr. Oburu Odinga, what he mentioned in his speech, and what the president, that is Honorable William Ruto, what actually he mentioned, especially in his own speech. And again, after that, I want you to center your mind on what really happened when they are within those the Lake Basin counties, and you'll get to know what happens. Katika isimu, or rather katika fasihi mlezi, kuna kitu ulisoma kinaitwa kwamba kuna muktadha na kuna pia how do we call it, kuna hiki kitu tunasema mahali ambapo unaongea, kuna kitu ambacho lazima utakibonga mahali hapo. And again, inamaanisha Ruto, when he was in Siaya, there is something that the senator of Siaya mentioned kuhusu fishing ambayo Ruto hakumention kwa Museveni. Trust me, the president was to talk about that very thing because it's affecting especially those people in the Lake Basin counties. But the president ignored it, assuming that maybe Museveni had whatever Oburu said. Oburu's impact, especially whatever he was saying during that session, or rather during that function, wherever they were launching the railway, wasn't going to be effective because he is just a mere senator in Siaya County compared to the head of state who has got the authority to talk to another head of state. Are you getting it? So this is what I mean. The president was to mention that by initiating the collaboration between the government of Uganda and the government of Kenya, whereby he was to ask Museveni to allow all the fishermen from within the Lake Victoria to be allowed to do their fishing without any anguish, or rather any how do we call it, without any harassment, because that has been happening, especially with the fishermen within that Lake Victoria. Now, what happens is that you've never had any harassment with the Kenyan fishermen when they try to fish towards Tanzanian side of the lake, but when it happens, they are headed to the side of Uganda. They find that there is a lot of harassment, and that is why Oburu Odinga had to mention this same thing by saying, you know, Museveni allow our fishermen to do their fishing nicely without any harassment. But let me tell you, what the president took to those lake basin counties is so different. In a way, unaleta muktadha wa mambo ambayo hayafai kwa sehemu ambayo ni iko na muktadha tofauti. That is what I said, kwamba hata leo Rais William Ruto aondoke hapa this lake basin counties, aende pale Mount Kenya, aende kuongelea swala la samaki, aende kuongelea swala la samaki huko, awaambie unajua, niliambia mtu fulani ashughulikie swala la samaki, kama tuseme tu wakikosana na Mbadi tu, nilienda huko lake basin na watu hawajui mambo, wali sijui au mambo ya fishermen waliharibu. Atakuwa pale, uelewa Mount Kenya haiko kwa ground na aina lake yeyote. Now akiwa pale akiongelea hayo masuala, hawataona chochote, hawataona umuhimu. That is why I'm taking you to what the former deputy president Rigathi Gachagua, what he mentioned especially yesterday, wherever he was referring, or rather he was answering to the head of state, that is William Ruto. Now he said this, angekuja hapa Mount Kenya aongele, kwa sababu muktadha unafaa kuongelewa kwa watu ambao wanakuwa affected na swala hili la kahawa. Kwa hivyo ukienda kuongelea kahawa uko lake basin na uongelei swala la fishermen, then it means unafaa kukua kwamba unameleta muktadha tofauti kwa watu ambao ni tofauti. So the issue is that it was to talk about something that is affecting the people of the lake basin. What they want to hear, mambo ya usafiri yatafanywa namna gani, mambo ya fishing itafanywa namna gani, because all they want to hear is the interest, whereby the interest is people-centered within the origin where he is launching everything, or rather what he is launching. Now, check out. When he was in Kakamega, alikuwa na launch at vitu, I think I had mentioned this. Alikuwa na launch at the miti ya stima. Miti ya stima inafaa kuwa launch na the area MP and together with the MCAs of that area. So wherever he was there, he was trying to check out by actually sharing the kind of amount that he's going to use, billions, you know, so many amount. But again, mimi kile kitu ambacho ninajua ni kwamba the president should or rather he was to launch something important like that railway which he was launching in Kisumu. That was the very major thing he was to launch, or rather ange launch a national road which is actually connecting to those counties. But check on this, when you are trying to see what President William Ruto is doing, it's something that is minor. What was major here was the railway, because it's connecting between Kenya and Uganda. But again, it is not essential for him to be in Migori, because he hasn't launched anything useful that is national, that is going to affect the people of Migori, that is going to affect the people of Homa Bay that much. Because what he's supposed to do is to launch something that is effective within that premise, or rather within that county, which he hasn't really launched. Now, seeing on his travel, is trying to talk to people. Now, it's good to have a rapport with people, but as much as there is service delivery without coming and giving people handouts and actually talking to them on what you have done and what is in your plan, what is in your brain, it's not that really effective as much as it is effective when you are working, even if you are from the office. Yeah, so you coming talking to people and you're actually dishing them with words instead of dishing them with the projects you are going to launch, or rather you've launched, or rather the plan that you've put in place in to ensure that things are flowing. That should be seen and not to be talked. Mambo mengi yameongea hapa akikuwa maeneo mbalimbali, especially in our counties, na hayo mambo haya effective. What we want to see is what he has done as the sitting president, what is doing, or rather what he has done. Sasa ukikuja, this is the fourth year, ambayo in the fourth year we should be seeing you say, or rather you declare that here to here nimefanya, here to here nimemaliza, here to here. Lakini when you get to hear the statements from the head of state, they are like tumepanga, tumefanya, tutafana, tulifana na ilifikia pahali hatujamaliza. So the only housing project yene ame launch yene iko complete ni ile ambayo walianza na the former head of state, that is courtesy Uhuru Kenyatta pale Nairobi. The others, they are midway. The others contractors are gone. The others the contractors are loading. And now let's talk about KISII, because he's about to come to KISII. He said wherever he was in KISII during the launch of the Nyota Fund, he told the KISII residents that I will move the KISII prison to another place in the following week. Up to now, whatever he said has never been implemented. And again, he said the contractors were to come to KISII, especially wherever he was moving that, after moving that prison from wherever it is, especially here in KISII, to wherever he wanted to move it. But that never happened, and even the contractors have not been seen at the site. You see? So that is what we are saying. But now, without contradicting what I was saying this: the president should come straight forward and address people, focusing on what is the immediacy effect that is actually affecting people within that county, or rather within that place. So the immediacy is what he should focus on, rather focusing on attacking the former deputy president who was actually impeached under his administration. Now, I'll just say this: the president should actually come out by mentioning what he has done, other than going against what going out there to mention that he has planned this, he has planned this, he has planned this. Because actually focusing on what he has done in the 4 years so far, we haven't seen anything done. But again, he still says that niseme niseme hawa watu wende wasiende, hawa watu si wameshindwa, hawana mpango, si ndio? So wherever he's coming out to dish us with those super words and the attacks to the actual opposition, it is not of any value, and it's not of any profit to any Kenyan right away. What any Kenyan needs right away, actually, remember, this is what Museveni stated wherever he was actually in that launch in Kisumu. He said this, alimwambia mimi pale Uganda, and actually I remember he used the Swahili, mimi pale Uganda ndio maisha ya kwe sawa, ama kidogo tu economy na hali ya maisha ikuwe kwamba imeshuka kidogo, nitaangalia hali ya usafiri lazima inakuwa chini, ugali wa stima pia umepungua, na pia kwamba viwanda havikuwa affected na solar la electricity. Lakini pia ka mention kwamba hata baa zikiwa kwamba ziko na electricity ambayo iko juu, I don't mind, lakini kwa mambo ya viwanda ambayo yana affect sector ya development, haifai kuwa na swala ambalo kidogo tu tunaweza kusema kwamba ni swala la kukindamizwa na swala hili la bei ama ya ndio gharama ya stima. So checking on this, alafu mara ya mwisho akamalizia kwamba huku kuchukua deni kwa banks za ndani pale ndani within the country zinalemaza sana kwa mambo ya nchi. And actually he was very effective, or rather that statement that Museveni made that very day was so much effective compared to what the president of Kenya actually said that very day. This to mean that the center of information with Museveni and Ruto is so different. As much as he's in another country, he knows what is affecting in Kenya, because there is the high cost of living is really experienced in Kenya, na hakuna mtu unaweza kadangana kwamba maisha si ghali Kenya. Hiyo tu mtu ambaye anajua maisha si ghali Kenya ni huyu ambaye anatumia hela za mwananchi na anatumia kila kitu ni ushuru ya mwananchi. Na kwa hiyo, na ndio maana tunasema kwamba whatever lie that was used during that time, it was just a lie for a minute, for a time. Kile ambacho the president is doing right away ni kujaribu kudish out maneno na pia kuanswer the opposition, but in terms of working we can rate him on 0%. Okay, let us be favorable and let us actually not be biased. He has done it 7%, because out of 259 points right away he has only done the 7 points. So that means he has only done, let us say, 7%, because that is it. Now focusing on this swala la samaki, swala la fishermen, mbona hadaliongea wakati ako pale mahali ambapo kuna fishermen maeneo yale? Kwa sababu swala ambalo sasa hivi anafaa kuliangazia kama rais wa nchi, na pia kuangalizia mambo ambayo watu wanapitia na kile ambacho wanapitia. Ndio umekubaliwa kuzuru kaunti yeyote, lakini pia ukiangalia mambo ambayo yametekelezwa na yale ambayo hayajatekelezwa, ukiangalia kikweli ni kwamba mambo mengi hayajatekelezwa chini ya uongozi wa rais wa sasa William Ruto. Wala ambao wako karibu na yeye wanaendelea kumwambia ndio wewe endelea kupita. Ulisikia tu kile Junet alisema. Junet is the same person. Unajua, hata nikwambie, yani monkey ni kwamba ameondoka kwa mti fulani akaenda kwa mtu mwingine, si kitu kingine, ni kuruka kutoka kwa mti mmoja kwenda mwingine. So Junet, I can just explain kwamba Junet is like a certain monkey that has actually jumped from another tree to another tree because he wants to eat something in this other tree, because that is what the monkeys do. So the monkey business ambayo Junet Mohamed anafanya ni ile kwamba anajaribu kutetea rais, kwa sababu sasa hivi ana mega mkate ndani ya serikali ya sasa. So whatever he is doing is that he has jumped from another tree to another tree to actually enjoy the fruits of this ripe tree, I mean the ripe fruits in this other tree. So that is what actually we are seeing Junet Mohamed experiencing, or rather enjoying right away, and that's why actually he's actually trying to say, unajua hii maneno ya Ruto kukuja kwa ground, ukweli ni kwamba wanapewa pesa za kumobilize wananchi. Kwa hivyo is enjoying some money which is actually dished from the government to the mwananchi down here. So tuseme kikweli kwamba a certain billion of amount has been given to him ili afanye mobilization. Si anajua hiyo pesa atachukua kidogo ape mwananchi na kidogo afurahi. So that is actually that is why he is happy. And considering that, angalia Ruto amezuru so many actually the counties za Lake Basin sana, especially in this season since kifo cha Raila Odinga, which was not experienced then. So amezuru sana, and actually they are actually happy because they are seeing the importance. Wao ni kwa sababu the monkey that jumped from Ruto from Odinga's tree imejump kwenda kwa Ruto's tree. They are enjoying that thing, you see. So the business yenye ilikuwa inachezwa wakati wa Raila, unasikia kwamba kuna kile ambacho Junet Mohamed alihusishwa, especially that very time ya elections, kwamba alichukua some pesa, some money, and unaelewa kile ambacho Stephen aliongea. So that is the same thing that I'm actually talking about. So
Junet alikuwa anajua kwa Raila atapata pesa kiasi fulani, na hiyo pesa ilikuwa inamsaidia, inamfaidi sana. So that time alikuwa anatetea Rao vizuri sana, akisema huyu mzee lazima atapewa kura. And again nakumbuka kwamba alikuwa anasema yule mtu anaweza akafanya kazi na Ruto ni mwenda wazimu. The same thing to Joe and some other people. So that is what we are experiencing. So they are happy because they are actually receiving they're dished some money. Unaelewa, hiyo pesa ikiingia wana enjoy, they are still investing, but the truth ni kwamba after ametoka hapo wameenjoy hizo pesa. Ikifika 2027 I'm sure, and this is true, take it to the next bank that is actually close to you, na uelewe hivi, most of the Mount Kenya MPs, they will run away from Ruto come 2027. The same thing to what is happening in this side of the Luo Nyanza. Most people who are with Ruto right away, they will actually run. The same thing that we are actually experiencing within the Gusii region. Mtu unadhani kwamba Gusii region haina watu wenye watahama Ruto. You'll see that will happen during this tenure and you'll experience it. So what we are seeing and what we are seeing people enjoying right away with the freedom of speech and so forth is what you can really understand. So that is why we are saying, elewa the current president ni mjanja kwa kucheza na akili zenu. So nyinyi muulize kila kitu ambacho kiko kwenyu au waeleze. So kama akikuja hapa Gusii Land, wanafaa kumuuliza railway yani ulikuwa huko Ikonge, ukasema kutakuwa na steni lazima ipita hapa Ikonge ikienda Ujaluoni, iliendaje? Kulienda? Those are the kind of questions that should be had on him, because wakati tunaambiwa kwamba hiyo steni haipiti Ikonge, haipiti isaidie Mkenya ambaye ako hapa Ikonge, so that isaidie because hiyo ndio boundary ya Gusii region and the Kericho side, hiyo itakuwa kwamba imeaffect Mkisii na pia Munyamira, si ndio? Na sasa anapozuru on 29th atakuwa Kisii or that very Sunday. Hiyo ndio swali tunafaa kumuulizia. Afai kutuambia stories za Gashieta vile, sababu Ruto anajua kutumia pia maneno ya watu vizuri. Unajua anaelewa kwamba Raila alikuwa anaita Gachagua Gashieta. So that is the word. Aliona sasa hii jina ya kumuita Mkabila nilikuwa naitanga Raila sana Mkabila. So leo acha ni change kidogo, watu waone ni kama nimeokoka. So akaona the only way ataokoka ni kusema all about this man Gashieta. Sasa atasema Mkabila, sasa ameanza kupunguza. Na ulielewa, alianza kupunguza kusema maneno ya ukabila, akasema maneno ya kafi, kwa sababu anashindwa atamwataka aje akiwa huko chini. Sasa aka change language. Obviously anajua uko side za western, hawezi sema, hata akisema mambo ya ukabila watu hawezi kumbuka, lakini kwa sababu ameelewa alipokuwa huko Nyanza alikuwa kitambo akirifaa Raila kama Mkabila. Sasa amefika huko amechange language, the tune is changed now, so he is using it akisema yule mtu ambaye anakula is corrupt, amejisahau. So he say yule mtu ambaye ni corrupt alikula pesa, yule Gashieta, referring that because it is in the mind of the Luo Nyanza people kwamba Raila was actually referring Gachagua to Gashieta, right? So now let's finish with this. We are finishing now. Finally, I want to take you to this, because I was actually saying that let the president talk about the immediate thing that is actually affecting them within that place, so that they can feel that they're part of him, or rather he's part of their problems and he has come with a solution. So whenever he'll be there to dish out, or rather to actually answer people from your county, that should not be a priority, and actually you should not clap to that, but clap to this man wherever he's saying about something that is affecting you within that county, within the area, within that place. And with that, we will just say that bravo,
the president has actually addressed our issues. Let him address what is affecting you. Let him address what is affecting the teachers. Let him address what is affecting us, because him actually address kitu ambacho Matiang'i alisema hapa, akisema billions zilipewa mugao kwa State House ikilinganishwa na 2022 2023 and the other years walikuwa napewa mgao wa 4 point something billion, but now it is 17 billion, na wanaangalia ni kama kwamba before elections next year wanaweza peana tena mgao wa 20 billion, which is too much compared to what it is supposed to be given to the State House. Wacha address kitu kama hiyo, wacha address, kwa sababu alishindwa ku address. Unajua Nairobi management walikuja wakasema kwamba hakuna kitu kinawa affect. Wacha akuje awaambie, alikuwa anasema Gachieta wanaongelea kwa sababu wanakula pesa kutoka Nairobi. Wacha akuje aseme Nairobi ni mimi nilikuwa na maneno yangu, sikuwa nimeelewa ukweli, kwa hivyo ni kumaanisha NIS yangu iko chini kidogo, kwa hivyo mambo yangu nilikuwa ninaongea kwa sababu ya kutojua, because the management of Nairobi came out and it addressed this thing, ikisema haina issue in Nairobi hospital. So that is one thing ambayo amenyamazia, ameshindwa kuiansa. So we are asking the patron of this Nairobi hospital, uko wapi useme? Because the management ilikataa na ilikana maneno yako, ikasema hakuna kitu aishai report kwako kuhusiana na swala la mismanagement or rather ya watu kuchukuliwa pesa, la watu kuhangaishwa, ya kuna ile jina ambalo ametumia sijui ni Galatons, I don't know, hiyo kizungu ni ngumu. So those are the answers that we want to hear him say, because actually the opposition mentioned that. So kwa mambo ya chakula ndio alimention, mambo ya kunona na kunenepa na kukonda alimention. So we want him to address these real issues, kwamba to address ye State House mbona imepata mgao huo mkubwa. Akikuda kama ni Kisii, tuambie mbona Gusii region haijapata hiyo steni ya railway ambayo ulikuwa umepromise initially. Number 3, atuambie hiyo basi ya Shabana ilikuwa na launch iko wapi. Number 4, atuambie hiyo barabara alikuwa amepromise yapo nyuma ya Nanjwa inatengenezwa lini na itaanza lini. Atuambie alikuwa ameambia Wakisii kwamba hiyo prisons ya Kisii itaondolewa pale, mbona ijondolewa, na reasons ambazo zilibaa hiyo, kwa sababu unajua hii kitu ilipromisiwa even before. Unaona, before Kindiki akwe deputy president alikuwa ameaddress hii kitu, akasema hii kitu hii maneno iko hapa ya prison kukua within CBD itaondolewa. It was never done. That is back 2024 and we are in 2026. I mean, yeah, 2026. That is the same language and the same song that actually is being sung with the people within the government. So is it one of the way they're using it to do this so-called campaign? So we want delivery and not promises. By now we could have seen something implemented. And again, the last other thing is that we want to see the Suneka airport ambayo alikuwa ameahidi kwamba itaanza. Those are the real questions ambazo tunahitaji address. The last thing ni kwamba alikuwa ameahidi kwamba atamaliza hii maneno ya Shabana, hii itengenezewe hiyo Gusii stadium imalizwe. So those are the kind of things that we really want to hear him addressing whenever he'll be in Kisii. Those are the kind of things that the Gusii region want him to address, especially when he gets to Kisii. Now, yeah, it's true, and this is credit to him, that the cancer center which was made, actually he launched those years, it is actually almost to completion. That is a plus to him. But now we want to get more and more, especially on what he promised. We want delivery and not just promises. Thank you so much for following this content. My name is Isaac Lenard, and thank you so much for following. They call me Isaac Lenard, and in this social media platform, kindly, if you are new to this YouTube channel, you can subscribe. And we are headed to 2K subscribers. Actually, we are midway, almost to that, actually 3/4 of this. So kindly, you can subscribe to the content, and we'll be glad to hear from you. What do you want us to add on this content, and what will you want us to actually talk about and focus on, especially in the coming days. So your comments in the comment section, will be happy and will be glad to have you comment, and again share our content to the closest friends who are actually affected with the current issues in the country, especially with the politics that we are experiencing in our country. So thank you so much. I'm so much happy to have shared this on, in terms of saying that we are experiencing a lot of a season of lies, especially when we are headed to 2027 general elections. So be brave, na kuwa kwamba sema kama uko kadi, kuwa kadi na itakuwa ni vizuri, because kukua kadi utabadilisha mambo, because at the end of it all, tukimaliza hapa, tukimaliza kuelewa ni kitu kipi ambacho kina affect mwananchi wa Kenya, kila ambacho bado kimebaki ni kupiga kura wakati wa 2027 elections, na hiyo itasababisha kwamba uwe na uongozi bora ama uwe na uongozi tu ambao wewe mwenyewe hauja participate, ambao si nzuri. So finally, you can as well, if you have got a stream to, you want to be done, a stream to be done within your area, you have a live stream, you have a church service and you want it to be streamed, uko na wedding ambayo nataka ifanywe isukwe streamed, kindly contact me on the number that is down there on the bio, on the description side. You can just find it there, na itakuwa ni nzuri sana. And again, even if as well, and this is not a must, but again, even if you are ready to stand with me, especially on content creation, you can find that number there, and again the till number together with the account that is down there in the description option there. You can really stand with me, especially in this live stream. God bless you so much and have a good night. Let us meet here same day, same time, and again come tomorrow, we'll be sharing so many contents on the same. So do have a lovely night.